There. We will do a class that focuses on hips, lower back, shoulders, neck, all of the things, mostly stemming from oftentimes this section, midsection, right? So not too much focus on ankles, wrists, but still just getting into the base of our body. And part of that's core strength building is going to help the rest of us, but we can also do some nice stretches as well as some heat building to get deeper in those stretches. So if you have a yoga mat, go ahead and bring that out. My blocks are currently underneath my computer, so I'm going to swap those out for a different stand for my computer so I can have some blocks. If you have blocks, cool. If not, talk to me and I can get you some from the studio. We have tons. So if you have a couple, awesome. We may or may not need them. We're going to start seated. So sit on down in a comfortable position, just somewhere that feels good. You do not have to do lotus pose, just a simple seated pose. Seated. Lovely seated pose. This morning, our affirmation, and I can bring that to this class as well, was I am proud. I find pleasure in the accomplishments that I've achieved. So, knowing that we are amazing, everything we're doing is amazing, and we're perfect as we are, find a little bit of pride in your abilities to do yoga, to complete the tasks that you set forth to do, and be excited about what we have to offer. So that's our what to bring to our class. Pride within ourselves of our accomplishments and being excited for what we can bring. And we're going to work with that. We'll work on hips, shoulders, neck, and low back. So sitting nice and tall. Close the eyes or gaze down. Rest your hands wherever most comfortable. I typically have palms facing up. We can go down too, either way. Palms open to receive, palms down to get grounded. Start that breath deeper in and out through the nose. Feeling the shoulders sink and tension dissipate. With each exhale, can you soften those shoulders a little bit more down the back? Inhale through the nose, filling the bottom, the belly from bottom to top. Exhaling out through the nose. Finding yourself sitting a bit heavier. If you need to adjust at any time, please do so. Make this comfortable for you. The stretch is slightly uncomfortable, but your entire body as a whole being comfortable. Right, slowly. Let's just draw the chin down to the chest. And then look up towards the sky. Do it again, chin to chest. Chin to sky. Chin to chest. Right ear goes to right shoulder. Bring it around a half circle, left ear to left shoulder. And let's keep working this upper body from the neck down to our shoulders. All right. Bring your head back up to center. Each just resetting with a deep breath. If there's one thing you can work on each day to feel less stressed, a little bit more vibrant and energetic, it's this breath. So we always want to come back to the breath as a check-in. You can tell how you're feeling by listening and checking in. We also stay present by being more aware of the breath. So, more breath. You're going to take our hands, little hands, take them onto tap your shoulders. And we do a little shoulder rotation. So elbows come forward, lift up and around. Inhale up, squeeze it in, exhale down behind you. This is warming up the shoulders for more stretch and movement coming up. And then go the reverse, other side, other direction. And bring the elbows down. Let's take the shoulders way up, squeeze it up, and relax. Do that again, squeeze up, tense up, and let it go. Shake, shake, shake. And one more time, lift up, and let it go. Good, big shoulder roll, up, back, forward, and down. Then we move down the body a bit more. We'll do one more thing for the shoulders and the neck. So take one of your hands, you're gonna grab behind, like grab your wrist. So you grab your wrist, pick one, and then pull that wrist out to the side. It's got this chicken wing going on. And tilt your head towards the chicken wing, towards the elbow, and press down through this opposite shoulder. So we're still looking straight forward. Want us to feel a nice stretch all the way down, if you can, through the bicep. As part of our warm-up, we're doing our head to toe alignment. So then take your chin just down a little bit to feel the back of the neck. Couple deep breaths. And switch sides, so you bring the head around, grab the other wrist and pull. Elbow out to the side, ear to shoulder. Try to press downward with that opposite elbow. And then bring your chin just barely forward to feel the back of the neck. Good, and release that, lift up. Nice, now we get down into the spine just a little bit. Twists and some side bends. We're gonna reach those hands up. Find some length, a lot of length. Take one hand to opposite knee, keep reaching up, and then twist. So you press into the hand, twist to the side, look to the side, press into the hand on the knee, and then extend the arm across. So we find a little side bend and twist at the same time. More length through the spine as you lift the crown of the head. Then take the hand down behind you to the base of the back or press down into the floor. Sit taller, look back over the shoulder. A deeper twist. Switch sides. Inhale, reach up. Opposite hand to the knee. Lengthen and lift up. And then reach to the side. So get into this twist and side bend. Core strength happening even here, just holding with that breath. Slow and steady. Take the upper body straight up. Take the hand behind you at the base of the back, press down, sit tall, and look past that back shoulder. Back to the center, reach up. Crawl forward, hands to the ground, shift forward to hands and knees. Hands and knees, and now we're going to get into some more heat building and into those hips a little as well. So hips and low back. So you roll the shoulders back, cat pose or cow pose, cat or cow. Exhales you round and go back and forth at your own pace with whatever breath pattern works for you. I like to go slow and really articulate each vertebra of the spine, each vertebrae. All right, so that was a few cat and cows. Let's come back to a neutral position. So if you remember the shoulder rolls we did, we're gonna do the same thing for our hips. We have to go one leg at a time because we can't lift both at the same time. So bend one knee, heel towards your backside, right? Heel up. You can even point or flex, up to you. Bring your knee out to the side or in first, out to the side and around. So you go in a little bit, out to the side and around. Much like we did with our shoulder grab. So try to get your heel to your butt and we bring the leg in these nice hip circles. Nice meaning you're going to build some heat and activation in the glutes to help our stretches. And then switch directions. So the heel or the foot goes up, we go around. You'll also feel the obliques start to light up as you bring your knee in and around. Okay, place that knee down. Let's switch sides. So bend the other knee, bend a little more, heel up or foot up, knee comes in, out to the side. And you'll notice a difference really quick. You do a few reps and you'll feel what's going on in the legs. And then switch sides, switch directions, not sides. Lift the leg up first and then out and around. If this is ever bothersome on the wrists, make fists or hands on blocks. Good, and then we're going to bring that knee back down to the floor. Separate the knees a little bit more. Sit back on the heels and extend the arms, child's pose. Reach it long. Find some activation in the upper arms, the shoulders, as you press into the pinkies, stretching out the hips as we're in child's pose. Great hip opener here. Get rid of any distractions. So we close the eyes and forehead down towards the floor. Fill that belly full of good inhale air. Slow exhale. You can even count to 4, 5, or 6. All right, let's shift forward back to our hands and knees, but keep the hands out where they are. Extend, shift forward, tuck the toes under, downward facing dog, lift the hips, and press them towards the sky. Let's bend the knees one at a time, pedal the feet. We'll find a little more length in that lower back by simply walking the hands back to the toes. Keep the feet kind of wide, bend the knees softly, and fold down into this ragdoll pose. Grab the opposite elbows and just adding movement or heaviness. Our sun salutations today will start at the back of the mat. So let's take those hands back down to the floor. Make sure the feet are about hip distance apart. Bend the knees. Use your ab strength, your core, to slowly roll yourself up or walk your hands up the legs. Roll the shoulders back, standing nice and tall. Reach those arms up, take an inhale. Connect the hands at the top. Exhale, bring the hands down to your heart. We'll do that 2 more times. Groups of 3 is what I usually do. Hands down, inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. One more, hands fall by your sides. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands pass through the heart as you fold it down. It's a little bend in the knees, fold to the ground, back to forward fold. Lengthen through the upper back, looking forward, and as you do that, walk the hands forward, shifting forward to plank pose. You might wiggle those feet back, knees down, lower to your belly. We will do 3 little cobra poses, 3 of them will help strengthen our back. So palms off the mat, lift and inhale, baby cobra. Exhale down. A little bigger, press and lift, just a little bit. Shoulders back and down. Exhale, lower. Fingertips on the outsides of the mat, elbows up. Lift, inhale. Exhale down. Back to child's pose. Hands under the shoulders. Press the hands and knees. Sit back, child's pose. And then from child's pose, downward facing dog. Hips up, tuck the toes, lift. And we'll do that 3 times, 2 more. So we walk the hands back to the feet. Roll yourself up, bent knees, rising. Lifting tall, reach up, hands connect. Then hands will slide down the heart center. Lengthen into a half lift. Then walk the hands forward to plank pose. Good, knees down, belly, chest, and chin down. Baby cobra lift. Exhale, lower. A little bit bigger, inhale up. Exhale, lower. Fingertips to the outsides of the mat. Inhale, lift. Feel the upper back squeeze. Exhale, down. Press into the hands, child's pose. Sit back. Then to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes and lift up. Lift the hips. One single nice breath here, in and out. Walk your hands back to your feet. Bend the knees and roll yourself up. Reach up with excitement for life. All right, let's bring the hands through the heart, fold it down. We'll do that 1 more time. Half lift. Exhale, walk it forward. Plank pose. Lower to the ground, baby cobra. Take an inhale, hands off. Exhale, lower, looking forward, press into the hands, lift. Exhale, down. Fingertips to the outside. It's a striking cobra, lift up. Exhale, down. Press into hands and knees, sit back to child's pose. Shift it forward, exhaling, downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back, heels press down towards the floor. Walk the hands back. Fold, hang out here for a little bit, shake out the head again. And in your own time, roll yourself up, walking the hands up the legs. That always helps me. And we take the shoulders and roll them back. Then we'll take it out wide. My mat tends to slip on carpet, so adjust as needed. So we'll take the feet out wide and we'll do some standing poses. So pull the pants up or not, and nice and tall. Turn one foot. I got my right foot out to the side, so more of a warrior stance. Other foot about parallel to the back of the mat. Bend the knee. Open up in this hips here. Press down to open up the knee. Roll this side outward, external rotation. Open the arms. We'll do a little bit of a nice mellow flow. So we take it to reverse warrior, keep the legs as they are. And we do a little scoop, this little S shape. We do the opposite, S shape, same S shape, but we tilt forward, S shape. Do that again. We go back and forth, just finding this nice inhale as you rise, exhale as you come forward into a nice little S. Keeping strength in the legs. Reflective of our ability to be fluid like water, to make changes and go with the flow. So with the flow of your breath, with the flow of your life, okay, reach up, straighten that front leg, reach it high. Become a star. Oh. You are a star, you shine bright. We all shine bright in our own special ways. Inhale, lift up, triangle pose. So this back foot's gonna step in a little bit, just a little. Reach forward with the right hand, or that top hand. Back heel presses back, hips back. Right hand comes down. This is where a block might help. Triangle, press the back of the hands, open, look up. Equal weight through both ribs, equal length. This is going to strengthen the core. It does help the back as well to strengthen that core, of course, and we extend through tailbone and crown of the head. Okay. Let's take both hands down towards the block or your shin. Step in a little bit more with that back foot, pyramid pose. So try this. I'm going to take the hands to the hips, turn them towards that right leg, and instead of trying to fold, going to lengthen, booty goes back, head goes forward, straight leg. Take your hands on your thigh. Now, even though I'm super flexible, I'm feeling this quite a bit, exactly where I need to feel it. Back hamstring, front hamstring, length through the spine. So finding some strength in the back to lengthening forward. And one more deep breath. Now we can get a little bit rounded as you take your hands to your shins or block or floor, hugging the heels towards one another. Just let go of more of that strength of the back and add core strength instead to stretch out the back. Okay, bend into that right knee, hands down, step back to downward facing dog. Good, we're in down dog. That leg that was forward, the right leg, lift it up behind you. Bend your knee, rotate through the ankle, and then open up in that hip. So you lift that knee. We can do this on the knee as well. So if you lift and open, keep equal weight in the hands, either from the knee or down dog. Then place that right foot back down on the floor. Feels a little bit different right to left. Walk the hands back. Hang out near forward fold. Then rising up, do so slowly. Do the other side. And you can switch sides, or I'm going to continue to face you. So my left foot's going to be towards back of the mat. So we go wide again. Turn the left toes to face left side or wherever you're at. Bending into the knee, keep the hips open. The intensity is set by the width of the feet. So less intense, more close. More intense, a little farther back. So you can bend that knee a little bit more. Outer thigh rolls open. Same, we just open up through here. And we open up the arms. Palms face down. Warrior two. Strong legs. Careful not to bump the hips. Let's pull them in. And squeeze the heels together. We'll do our nice, now that we're stable, we'll do our S waterfall motion. Core strength and side bends. This is good for the back. And we're also heating up what we're going to stretch soon, our hips. So we add that glute activation, core strengthening, hopefully in a nice sort of gentle way. No need to go 100 million% out of breath. And pace this yourself. So make sure that the pace is good for you. And then reverse it with a straight leg. Reach up, lengthen, be that star self of yours. Then lift back up, arms parallel to the floor. Back foot comes in a little bit. Toes still point over to the left side. Now we can get a little bumpy in the hips. Hey girl. That's what we're gonna be saying. Okay, reach. Right heel is back, hips are back, reach long. And now we take it down. So I'll show you what not to do. So this is our pose, right? What I don't want to see is this. It's not a side bend. So I need these hips to get a little bit turned, lengthen here, reach, then rotate through the shoulder, reach up. So we've got triangle pose. This pose often is a bit challenging if you have not been walked through before. All right, we're going to take the hand that's reaching up and bring it down. Good. Step in a bit with the back foot. Adjust the feet so the hips can get squared. In fact, we're going to lift up, take the hands on the hips, lengthen through the back, and we might not be parallel to the floor, we might be up a little higher, but the tailbone shoots back. Blocks are in the way. Hands on the hips. Be careful not to lock out this knee. Little tiny bend, but not a deep bend. Tiny bend. Hands on the thigh. Press actively into the thigh as you lengthen the crown of the head forward. Relax through the shoulders. Now, after we've activated this back quite a bit, now we relax. So can you get a little deeper? I mean, I'm able to get my forehead to my shin, but you might be still hands on shin or blocks, and that's great. Just find more relaxed through the back. So rather than so much activation, stretch, relax. Good. Then placing those hands down, rebend that front knee, step back to down dog. Lift that leg, that left leg, it was forward. Let's bring it up. Rotate through the left ankle. Then open up if it feels good for your body. And then place the foot down. Walk the hands back to the feet. Roll yourself up, one more standing pose. Reach up. And the hands come down to your heart. Just a nice little check-in. So we can be proud of what we've just accomplished even here. We're going to come down to our mat now and do a few more stretches for these guys, such as pigeon pose and a figure 4. So we'll come down to our mat and do that. Reach up from the back of your mat, exhale down. Walk the hands forward. We'll go through that same flow we went through a couple times before. Lower to your belly. Baby cobra pose. Exhale down, a bigger cobra pose. Exhale down, fingertips on the outsides of the mat. Press and lift the heart gaze forward. Exhale down. Press into the hands and knees, sit back to child's pose. Pause there. Roll yourself up so that you're sitting on your heels. Sitting on your heels. lean to the side and bring the legs around. This is a great spot for a drink of water or just like a little reset. I like straws. Yellow for sunshine. That's what I got for my straw today. Okay, so we've got a couple poses for the hips. One of them being, I'm going to do a seated figure 4 today rather than pigeon pose, just because we then can go into a nice twist from there for the back. So taking your feet forward, actually both legs forward, right? Sit up tall. If this L shape is not accessible, we've got tight hamstrings, you're going to bend the knees a little bit. Otherwise, keep the legs straight. Right, okay, bend the right knee. You're going to take the ankle above the knee for this seated figure 4, straight left leg. Sit up tall and hold here. Notice how far up this right knee is. It might be pretty far up. You might feel more in the hamstring or you might feel more in the hip. It just depends on your body, what's more flexible, what's more tight. So from this position, hands go behind you. Bend the left knee. There's your figure. Oh, a little cramp in my leg. Bend your left knee, maybe not a lot. It doesn't have to be a lot. So we're getting the hamstring out of the equation and just now working into that right hip. So the knee, press it away from you as you try to sit taller. And then we've got a wiggle in the toes. Notice your right toes. All right, awesome. Little figure 4. Take the right toes down to the floor, pivot. So you might find yourself on your side kind of quite a bit. We can adjust. So we take it here, hug that left ankle in a little closer, sit tall and get down, grounded through that right side as well. So the foot can be on either side of the knee. Reach up through that left hand, very similar to what we did before in the very beginning. You can take the elbow or the arm, hug the knee, sit tall, turn your gaze over that back shoulder. Right hand hangs out where it feels good. So this is a deeper seated twist. Can you sit taller and keep your eyes, your gaze at eye level, way back behind the shoulder. 2 more steady breaths. Good, and back, unwind back to the center. Just turn to the left for a moment, or the other side, whichever side that is, just to reset through that spine. And we get a switch. So let's do that again. Keep the legs straight, sit up tall. Find that belly in, posture good, like someone's pulling a string up from the top of the head. Then we take the left knee, bend it, place the ankle above the knee, sit tall. Notice if it's the hamstring or the hip that you're feeling. You can even help press that knee down. And then sitting up taller, let's bend that right knee. Take the hamstring out of the pose. Bend a little bit, hands behind you, however is comfortable. Fingers can be out or in. Taller though, try to get the heart forward. Almost like you're trying to do a back bend, not quite. The more you can shift your weight forward, the more you'll feel in that leg. Keep this foot flexed. Left foot stays flexed. It keeps the knee safe. Now feel into this figure 4 position. It's an active pose, so we're still actively pressing that knee away. It's not a rest in this pose. I'm very active. Right, so we take this left foot down to the side, pivot, whoops. You go sit up tall. So you notice this left side is up. Let's bring it down. We might hug that bottom foot in a little bit. Bring this left side down. Foot plants on the floor. Sit tall. Now we've got that. If your left knee is up, we take the right arm and reach up. Hug the knee or elbow over the knee. As you exhale, create space for that twist and look back past the left shoulder or the back shoulder. Good, and unwind from that twist. A little bit of a gaze over the other side for a moment, and then back to center. So you take that foot out, take the other foot out, take the feet together, knees open wide. This is where you could also sit on a block. I don't like that personally, so I sit on the floor, grabbing onto those feet, lift up. We'll do 2 of these. So we've got a round back, or flat back and a round back. So first, lift, press the elbows to the thighs, and send the heart forward. So if this works better, hands behind the back to just help you shift forward, stay with that. If grabbing the feet helps or reaching forward helps, do that. This is bound ankle pose. And we're going to lift up out of that. Take an inhale. Now round the back and stretch the back. So we're purposefully creating more length in the back of the body, getting into the stretch so you can take the nose to your toes. Hitting this round on purpose, on purpose. Good, and then lift back up. Close the knees, and we'll take it down to the floor, and we'll have a few more poses. This is a shorter class, so it's listed as 45 minutes, but we might do about 5-10 more minutes. So feet to the top of the mat, reach and roll yourself down slowly, core strength engaged. We're going to do a little core heating at this point as well. So take the knees up, knees together, hands out to the side. Gotta scooch over for this. I'm gonna take those knees side to side without touching the foot down. Glue the knees together. Take an inhale. Exhale, knees come down to the left side or the right. Choose a side. No touching down, just before you bring the legs back up. This is our additional core work. Exhale, other side. Inhale, lift. And we'll do a few each direction. Connecting the breath with the movement. Right, once you finish and it feels complete, similar, take the feet down about mat distance, knees open, and take those knees side to side. So now getting into more of the hips as you windshield wiper side to side with the twist. Twist and hips. Right, knees come back up, but the feet stay a little bit more or underneath the knees, heels under knees. Hands down, press into the feet, lift the hips, and just hold. We've got this bridge pose as a nice heart opening back bend. We can interlace the fingers behind or keep them pressing down into the floor. And then slowly release out of bridge pose. Keep the tailbone down, anchor down. Lengthen the legs up towards the sky, both of them. Legs up the wall. You're going to keep the lower back on the floor, hands resting by the sides of the body. If this is tough on the legs or hamstrings, bend the knees a little bit or place a blanket or block underneath your lower back. This is a relaxing inversion pose. This one we can get a bit more passive, no stress. Just allowing us to circulate the blood flow of all the poses and the strength and stretching we just completed. And then slowly bending those knees, rebending. Place your feet on the floor together. Open the knees up and let them just hang out here. This is a great variation for any low back tightness instead of extending the legs. So let's just hold here. Take one hand on your belly, other hand to your heart, so you can feel that breath wave in like the ocean and then slowly rolling out again like an ocean wave. Notice how the toes have a slight tingle. See if we can soften the shoulders a little more. All right, let's take the knees. From that, knees up. Take the feet open out to the side and knock the knees together, a little bit of the opposite. So the feet can even be on the outside of the mat, and continue to rest your hands wherever feels comfortable. If you have a pillow or if you do have a bolster for Shavasana, we'll place it underneath the legs, under the knees, or you can always find a position that works. Stay here or in knees open. If legs extended feels okay, then we can head to that one. Blocks work too. I'll show you that version. So then we'll take our legs up, and you can choose one of those versions or extend the legs with something underneath the knees. I've got blocks here so that my feet can fall open, but I don't have any strain on my lower back because I've got this little hinge in the back from where the knees are. So sometimes laying flat is not so comfortable for a strained low back. This is also really nice for the hips, as my hips can open up a bit more. So if you have something, a blanket, a towel rolled up, good place to be. We'll find our Shavasana position where we can just let go. Hands rest by your side. Again, palms up or down. Close your eyes and be here, steady with the breath with no effort. Allow everything to come down, to melt, to soften. Okay, take a deep breath in. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Create and bring some more life to the body. Stretch, reaching overhead. And then hug your knees in, one at a time or both of them. Hug them in, give it a nice squeeze, love yourself. Be proud of yourself. One more yoga practice into our lives is such a good thing. And then roll to your side. Use your top hand to help press you up in a nice, safe way. We did it. All right, so we sit tall, nice and tall. A wiggle, shake out, reach up, hands down. Again, why not? Reach up. And really sink it in. Exhale. Thank you so much for joining in this shoulders, neck, low back, and hips yoga practice. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a wonderful, fabulous rest of your day. Namaste.